Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Innovators Radio. I am your host, Ralph Brogdon, and I'm here today with Brent Gaynor. Brent is the founder of Mometic, which is an app that delivers real-time financial streaming data and alerts to both everyday investors and stock professionals. Mometic was released in 2015. It was an invitee to the Stocktoberfest conference in San Diego, and it is one of the top grossing apps in finance, reaching number one on several occasions. So Brent is going to explain this app and what he does. Thank you so much, Brent, for being on the program today.
Ralph, thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure. So, as most startups craft an idea, I was having a problem trying to do everyday awareness of the stock market, and while I was doing my job, whether I was at my desk in a meeting or driving, I felt like I was uncoupled from the stock market, and that being someone who slightly obsessive compulsive and always wanted to uncover opportunities to make money, as I think the rest of us are, I wanted to figure out if I could peel back that onion and solve that problem. And in doing so, I created Momo. And really what Momo is a tool that lets you have real-time stock awareness of the entire U.S. stock market wherever you go. Seeing stocks that are breaking out to higher highs or lower lows, and then try to get quick crowdsourced information about those stocks so that you could ultimately move on it faster than your next 100,000 competitors that would be vying for buying that stock as well, or even selling it.
Interesting. Yeah. So is this app geared towards stock professionals as well as everyday investors, or somewhere in the middle, or who is your target audience? Who benefits the most?
It's the active investor, those that don't have these, have a day job and want to keep, visibility of the market. I've have people ranging from millennials to old-time professionals that have been looking for a tool like this back when they were trading actively that are now retired, to people on Wall Street that are using it daily. So it really cuts a broader segment than I imagined, and so I think that resonates well, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So what got you interested in making this information available? You mentioned that you're working your job, mm-hmm. and you'd like to keep an eye on the stock market, but how did you come up with the idea to put this information together in an app?
Well, again, I always felt that knowing when a stock was breaking out as fast as humanly possible gave me a better opportunity to make a few dollars before the next 100,000 people jumped in on it and got the price to a point where it started turning. So sure. I wanted to give that accessibility to myself so that I could be aware of the market pulse. Secondly, the element of after hours has become more and more critical over the years as the market changes. Has the after hours and extended hours have had greater impact on the market, on the stock's movement, and a lot of people, myself included, don't want to stick around at your desktop till 7 o'clock in the evening trying to track down what's moving and what's not. So I could kind of be unencumbered from my desktop after hours if I was in a trading mode type of thing. And same with pre-market hours. And relative, day in, day out, you see whether the VIX is moving up, S&P 500, Dow breaking out. You get an early glimpse of this before the market even opens, which, many times I might still be in bed I'm still regularly in bed at 6 a.m, but the market's been trading for hours already. And you don't have to get up and turn on your computer. So it's offered some of that flexibility as well.
So what would be a common problem that this app solves that other apps do not? There's probably other apps that claim to do similar things, but what would some features of yours be that you feel give you an advantage over similar things out there?
It's really a different way of looking at the stock market in that it shows what is moving and ignores what is not. Most watch lists and things of that nature are very static and only showing stocks that are going up and down, and your cognitive biases kind of really work on confirming that movement or lack of movement. Where I felt behaviorally that if I was showing things that are moving in one way or the other without any prejudice, without trying to, lay claim to it being due to a moving average or some sort of standard deviation, overbought or oversold condition, that it would strip any of those biases and just allow you to work off of that movement. So I felt that was a unique feature in of itself. I coupled social trending data so that it would help raise awareness by tying in stock twits so people could see things that are trending that others have divined as of interest because of social buzz, and allows that to also be shown in the stream so that people could kind of correlate that movement to actual price action.
So where do you see the technology going? The ability to create these apps and to take these data. I think when we were talking off air, you had mentioned that it's a lot less costly now than it would have been 5 to 7 years ago. What is that an advantage for people?
I think it's an advantage to be able to craft these type of solutions that wouldn't be created by a larger business or a larger exchange that doesn't necessarily have that interest of providing that visibility, as they are focused on generating commissions on actually executing trades. So it allows those that are trying to create unique views and visions of things to really be able to exploit the cloud services such as Amazon Web Services and quickly roll out this type of functionality. I was able to do this in a rather short period of time, given, I guess some of my product management background and software, along with a few developers, to be able to build this and tool it in a way that was really cost effective in the end, in the scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. How would the average investor benefit from downloading the app, putting it into practice? What is the couple of things right off the bat they'll be able to notice right away?
I think one of the things is that there's 6,500 stocks in the U.S. stock exchange that they have visibility to instantly. Without bias, Momo will surface those that are moving, and where the other ways they would only typically learn of them are as if they, through news outlets, that stock actually has enough movement or enough mass interest to merit conversation. If you look at CNBC, MarketWatch, Bloomberg, Benzinga, Seek and Alpha, they typically focus on, the 80-20 rule. They really want to get those ones that have the mass market appeal and talk about those. There's 6,500 that a lot of people don't understand, and I contend that whether the stock is called AAPL or ABCD, if they make 30% on that opportunity, they won't care what that symbol is. So that's one of them, is the general awareness. The other is the ability to have this at earnings season, which is pretty critical because most earnings reports happen in pre-market or after hours. And if they want to protect themselves, which most stop orders do not work after hours, they have that visibility and they could potentially protect themselves from a 20-30% loss in a bad earnings report, or on the other flips, conversely, on a good earnings report, they could jump in because they're going to get that real-time blip and be able to potentially take action on it.
And I could see the value in that because, as you pointed out, there's only so much airtime that television programs and different shows can devote to talking about stocks. And how many will they talk about? 3 or 4 in a segment, and there's still 6,500 out there.
Yeah, exactly. Is it media worthy, or can you make money on it? I contend that it's not necessarily the brand or the business, but it's if the stock is moving and if it moves $3, $3 is $3, and we'd all be happy having 1,000 shares of that and going our own way.
Yeah, so, that's not a bad day's work.
Exactly.
So the name of the app is Momo. It's one of the top grossing apps in finance. It's been a number 1 app in that category on several occasions. Do you have other iterations of the app, new features of things that you're working on, or what's coming down the road?
Great question. I am, as a lot of small app developers have tried to, I guess, thread the needle through about 10 needles and all at once, and kind of caught myself a little short-handed in trying to get it released for Android. I've disappointed a lot of people in that regard and have thousands of people that sign up for the availability of that. So Android is a up and coming. I've got that back in process and going, and it's further along than it was before after various fits and starts. But additional features are going to really kind of allow people to take more action on this data and engage with it so that they don't have to shell through to other applications. It's going to tie in additional news resources, and eventually, really what I'm wanting to work into is provide a level of artificial intelligence using machine learning tools out there that can give some probabilistic models that people can work off of on some of these breakouts, and whether or not they're something that they should take action on. So that's a tall order, but it's something that I think the developers I'm working with have interest in exploring, and I certainly have interest if we could help others make money via, with confidence. I think we'll all be very happy in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure there's people listening to this right now that are going to want to check it out and find out more information. What's the best way to find out more about the app or find out more about your company?
I certainly welcome anyone emailing me if they want to talk about particular features or functionality. I'm at brent@mometic.com. If they want to go straight to the app for iOS, they could search Momo Stock Discovery in the App Store, and we should be the only result. If you type Momo, there's about 7 or 8 results, and I think we're about on the lower part of that. And then obviously at Mometic.com, there's a list of the features and website information. And I'm also available, as well as a colleague of mine, on chat through that channel as well.
Awesome. Any final thoughts or words of investing wisdom you care to share with us?
As it pertains to using Momo tends to serve up a lot of opportunities, and it's something that you could easily get carried away with. As with everything, you need to use, measured efforts and control yourself as trading is no different. In trading with Momo, nothing is a golden discovery, but you certainly can capture some of these breakouts and capitalize on them and get the pulse of the market, I think, better than many other tools that are on desktops, and certainly better than on mobile devices.
I've been speaking with Brent Gaynor. He is the founder of Mometic and the Momo app. You can find out more about Brent and about Momo at Mometic.com. Brent, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Ralph, thank you very much. I really appreciate it as well.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.